Good evening and welcome to Easy Friday. As we wrap up the week, today's bulletin brings you a quick look at the key updates, highlights and reminders you need. Also lined up the day's business headlines and all the big moments from the world of sports to get you ready for the weekend. This is Easy Friday. I'm Carren Kibbet. Let's begin. Here are the highlights. Finally cometh the green light. Constitutional Court clears the recruitment of police constables scheduled for next Monday. The big party Raila missed. ODM holds its 20th anniversary celebrations amid glaring internal wrangles following the death of its leader. It's all systems go. Electoral body IEBC assures the country of seamless by-elections come November 27. And on the hilarious Weekly Savage netizens, a special focus on the shocker that President Ruto met with face-to-face during his tour of Makueni. This is Easy Friday. Our sign language interpreter this evening is Carolyn Njoroge. Now, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, says it is committed to ensuring there are free, fair and transparent and peaceful by-elections on Thursday, November 27, 2025. Speaking in Nairobi, IEBC Chairperson Erastus has urged those participating in the by-elections to adhere to the Code of Conduct, saying the electoral body will not condone any acts of lawlessness during the exercise. The mini polls will take place in 6 constituencies, 16 wards and 1 county. Timothy Kipnusu reports.
With less than a week to the much-anticipated mini poll, the first to be conducted for the first time after the 2022 general elections, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, has assured the country of a smooth exercise. Addressing the media in Nairobi, IEBC Chairperson Erastus Ethekon, however, read a riot act to individuals who will disrupt the process.
I would like to condemn all acts of lawlessness and violence across all the areas where we are having elections, particularly in Kasipul. And I would urge all those participating to refrain from any acts that will undermine the integrity and the credibility of our electoral process.
He confirmed that all materials needed have so far been dispatched to the areas where the mini poll will take place.
So far, our teams have been on the ground. We have appointed the returning officers for those respective elections. We have trained the electoral officials on the work they are supposed to do. And we have prepared all the materials that are required for us to conduct and complete those elections successfully.
Ethekon urged all aspirants to adhere to the Code of Conduct and conduct peaceful campaigns.
Any breaches of the Code of Conduct, of course, will attract penalties, will attract some form of punishment, including fines, and in severe cases, it might force us to cancel or to disqualify those candidates who will be found to have breached the Electoral Code of Conduct.
Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja said that they are investigating cases of intimidation in the run-up to the Kasipul constituency polls, promising stern action on culprits.
Any person who involves himself in a manner that causes breach of the law, including all the other areas, Bahrain included and many others, the National Police Service will not allow. And we are going to do our work as guided by the Constitution.
He assured the country of adequate security during the exercise. National Cohesion and Integration Commission NCAC Chairperson Reverend Samuel Kobia has also summoned some leaders in Beire for hate-mongering.
Those who are involved in organizing these criminal characters to disrupt peace we are going to deal with them. And therefore, there is nowhere that they can hide, because by working together, these three agents, the IEBC, NPS, and NCIC, there is nowhere for them to hide, and we will have to make them to account.
This will be the first electoral process to be undertaken by the new IEBC commissioners since their oath of office in July this year. The mini polls, which will take place in 6 constituencies, 16 wards in 1 county, is seen as a litmus test for both the Kenya Kwanza administration and the opposition ahead of the 2027 general elections. Timothy Kipnusu for Easy Friday.
Thank you, Timothy, for that report. Now, moving on, President William Ruto has urged Kenyans to report any public health hospital that charges them for outpatient services to the nearest police station. Speaking in Kangundo, Machakos County, the president says the funds have already been availed under the Social Health Authority, SHA. The head of state says that the administration has received reports from across the country that public hospitals are charging patients exorbitant prices, derailing the government's agenda on affordable healthcare. As Abdiaziz Hashim tells us, leaders from the region accompanying the president accused Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka of holding back the region, denying them the much-needed development.
For the third day running,
Waswahili wanasema hayawi hayawi.
Kangundo, Mwala, and Machakos Town.
Na Machakos mnasemaje? Hebu nione wale wanasema.
President William Ruto continued drumming up support for the achievements of the administration so far ahead of the 2027 polls.
Si kila mtu anapimwa na kazi yake. Kama ni mtu ya fitina na ukabila na chuki na mambo ingine, si huyo ni mtu wa kuenda akiendanga.
It is here while the head of state urged Kenyans seeking outpatient services to report public health hospitals that are taking advantage of them while seeking treatment.
Wewe mwananchi, ukienda kwa hospitali, umejiandikisha kwa SHA, utibiwe. Mtu akikuuliza pesa, itisha polisi. Piga ripoti kwa polisi, ndio hao watu matapeli.
The head of state says that the administration has received reports from across the country that public hospitals are charging patients exorbitant prices, derailing the government's agenda on affordable health.
Mtu akiuliza wewe, nani alisema hiyo maneno? Umwambie rais wa Kenya, anaitwa William Ruto, aliniambia hiyo maneno.
The president, for the umpteenth time, criticized the opposition for attempting to divide Kenyans on ethnic lines.
So mimi nataka niwaambie wale majamaa wanajaribu kushindana na sisi, watu ambao hawana, na unajua ukiwasikiza watakuja hapa, mtawasikia watakuwa tu na maneno 3. Watakuja waseme one term, Kasongo must go.
Na ni lazima tuweke infrastructure fund ile ambayo sasa itatuwezesha kupanua barabara za Kenya. Tuongeze, tuwe na additional 10,000 kilometers of tarmac, tuwe na additional 10,000 megawatts of electricity.
A section of leaders from the region led by Labour CS Alfred Mutua have accused Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka of holding back the region from receiving the much-needed development over the years.
Kuna watu wametudanganya kwa muda mrefu sisi kwa kutuuzia siasa ya umaskini. Ile mimi naita political poverty strategy, PPS. Ya kutuambia tukae ngumu bila kitu ati tutakula baadaye.
Munajua mwaka wa 2007 vile tulipiga kura tukifuata yule tulifuata. Mwaka wa 2013 vile tulipiga kura tukifuata yule tulifuata. Mwaka wa 2017 vile tulipiga kura tukifuata yule tulifuata. Mwaka wa 2022 vile tulipiga kura tukifuata yule tulifuata. Hiyo miaka yote tunaanguka. Sisi sio wajinga. Wakati wa kubadilika ni sasa.
Wakati sisi tulipata kiongozi mmoja huku katika area yetu ya Ukambani ambaye alikuwa deputy rais, tukasema bas sasa tutasaidika. Lakini wapi ole wetu?
In Machakos, the president launched the Kagundo Mwala Road, Kavindini Miscellany Road, and handed over 175 affordable houses to residents in the devolved unit. President William Ruto will meet leaders from this particular region at Kitui State Lodge tomorrow. Abdiaziz Hashim from Machakos County for Easy Friday.
The National Police Service and the Inspector General of Police can now go ahead and recruit police constables after the Constitutional and Human Rights Review Division of the High Court suspended last Monday's decision halting the exercise. Justice Bahati Mwamuye, while lifting the orders on Friday, directed both the applications filed by Eliud Matindi and the Attorney General to be heard together on Monday morning, the November 17th, 2025. The new directive by the court now paves the way for the recruitment to go on unless the National Police Service directs otherwise.
It is a reprieve for prospective police constable recruits after the Constitutional Court on Friday gave the green light for their recruitment. On Monday, November 10th, 2025, a petitioner, Eliud Matindi, challenged the constitutionality of the recruitment process by the Inspector General of Police and the National Police Service instead of the National Police Service Commission. However, on Wednesday, November 12, 2025, the Attorney General filed an application urging the court to set aside Monday's decision, arguing that the National Police Service has already deployed resources for the recruitment exercise. The Attorney General further told the court that any action order attempting to delay or stop the scheduled recruitment of police constables set to take place on Monday, November 17th, will without a doubt jeopardize and compromise the national security, safety and well-being of the Republic of Kenya and its citizens. The AG further accused Matindi of material non-disclosure, citing that he failed to inform the court about the Employment and Labor Relations Court ruling by Judge Helen Wasila, who vested the powers with the National Police Service and the Inspector General of Police. This state further argued that after a 3 years freeze on recruitment, the National Police Service has remained understaffed. In giving the direction, Justice Bahati Mwamuye rescinded the decision he had given on Monday, calling on parties to appear before him on Monday, November 17, 2025. Ruth Wamboi for Easy Friday.
Now, internal wrangles played out at the start of the Orange Democratic Movement anniversary celebrations in Mombasa on Friday. A selection of the hierarchy is accusing some members of attempting to auction the party ODM, which is marking 20 years in Kenya's politics, is using the celebrations to pay tribute to its founder, Raila Odinga, who died last month.
The Orange Democratic Movement is celebrating its 20th anniversary under a new regime. Hours after being confirmed as the new substantive party leader, Siaya Senator Oburu Oginga is already facing a precarious political balancing act. At the celebrations on Friday, ranking members appear divided on what course to chart to avoid a political hemorrhage before the 2027 general elections.
Na mimi nataka kumwambia Gladys Wanga, chairman, Simba Arati deputy party leader, Otsosi deputy party leader, and my governor Abdul Samad deputy party leader. You are in leadership today. Ongezeni chama iende mbele, musitishwe na kila mtu ongee kwa chama hapa.
At a youth side event, East African Legislative Assembly MP Winnie Odinga warned that ODM is not for sale.
Nasikia kuna wengine ambao wanatembea nasi mchana lakini usiku wanajaribu kuuza hii chama. Haiwezekani. ODM was not born in a bedroom. It was not made in a bedroom. So its future will not be discussed as pillow talk.
A section of members led by Siaya Governor James Orengo and Secretary General Edwin Sifuna has been accused of attempting to herd the party out of the broad-based government.
Raila was so clever that he did not leave us just to be in the broad base. He wanted us to be the voice of the people, and that is why ODM is leading the forces within the National Assembly.
Wengi wanasema mambo ambaye waliambiwa na baba wakiwa peke yao. Kila mtu anasema hiyo, na najua hatuwezi kusikizana ni nini baba alituambia tukiwa peke yetu, na situfuate ile alisema tukiwa wote basi. Kama kitu ni mbaya, baba alikuwa anasema ni mbaya. Na kama nyinyi ndio chama cha wananchi hawezi kuumia alafu nyinyi mnasema mambo iko sawa. Haiwezekani.
And we loved him.
because he accommodated us. He listened to our views. He respected us. He listened to every issue we had. Ndio tukampenda. So you cannot force us to love someone. You cannot force us to love someone. Uweza kulazimishwa umpenze mtu wewe.
Nikiguza kidogo ile SG amesema na ile Winnie amesema. Sisi kama ODM, sisi hapana chama ya serikali. Sisi hapana chama. We are not a government party. We are an opposition party.
But amid the simmering wrangle, the party appeared united in mourning its fallen leader, Raila Odinga.
Tumeketi tukasema hakuna mmoja wetu ambaye anaweza kusimama aseme yeye ni baba ama anatoshea kiatu ya baba. Hakuna.
Members paid homage to the late veteran politician who is credited with guiding the party through turbulent political times.
I took a trip on a sailing ship, Banana Rich, Jamaica. I made a stop, but I am sad to say.
ODM youth and women leaders hailed Raila's impact on Kenyan politics, saying his legacy will last 4 years. The 20th anniversary celebration has been billed as a big reunion.
The main event to be held tomorrow at Mama Ngina Waterfront, that is expected to be in the climax of the ODM 20th anniversary, will be succeeded by ODM founding members dinner that President William Ruto is expected as a surprise guest. Give us a smile every Friday at the ASK Showground in Mombasa County.
Thank you, Giverson, for that report. Moving on, Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki has defended the government's plans to establish an infrastructure fund, saying it is necessary for sustainable development. Speaking in Machakos County, the Deputy President said the government plans to construct 10,000 kilometers of tarmac road, enhance the electricity capacity, and build 50 mega dams, hence the need to raise the funds.
Kila mahali tukienda, barabara zetu hazitoshi, stima haitoshi, maji haitoshi. So tunaleta infrastructure fund na tunauliza wabunge wetu, hiyo mswada ya infrastructure fund ikifika bungeni, waiunge mkono ndio tujenge barabara mpya, an additional 10,000 kilometers of roads in Kenya, so that we produce more energy, an additional 10,000 megawatts of energy, na tuongeze dams kubwa 50 ya kuongeza maji ya kilimo katika taifa letu la Kenya, katika Machakos na katika Mwala. Jambo la pili, mumesikia rais ametoa amri mbalimbali hapa. Amesema wale watu wanatengeneza ile maji ya 1.5 billion waharakishe akuja afungue. Amesema soko ijengwe. Amesema hostels ijengwe. Hiyo mambo yote rais amesha amrisha.
Tumunenga William Ruto anuma kwa sawa.
And that report leads us to our very fast short break right here on Easy Friday. Don't go too far because I'll be back with more reports.
From the heart of Kenya's rural communities, electricity is transforming lives. REREC is partnering with county government, the National Government Constituency Development Fund, and development partners to power our future. Through the Matching Fund program, REREC has mobilized over 4 billion shillings, delivering more than 1,300 projects across the country. Together, we are lighting homes and powering public facilities such as schools, dairy farms, homestead, markets, and health centers. Working with REREC through the Matching Fund program has been a game changer. It means our communities don't have to wait for decades for electricity. Projects are implemented faster. It's a story of progress, and the results are real. Brighter markets, safer streets, new businesses, modern farms, improved education, better healthcare, and a cleaner environment. With every collaboration agreement, the promise of affordable, clean, and reliable energy becomes a reality for more Kenyans. In homes, children study after dark. Family feels safer and new opportunities are born. In health centers, power means life-saving equipment, refrigerated medicine, and round-the-clock care. Rerick, green energy, better lives.
Sasa ni dawa gani unafaa kununua?
Hata nadhani niende niangalie second opinion kwa daktari mwingine.
Hata usidhubutu.
The folks there need that medicine, and our job here is to take the medicine there.
I'm proud of you, babe. Look at you, saving lives, eh?
Call me Superman, baby.
Baba Felix, yes.
Naona ulikuwa unafanya tu mahesabu hapo.
It's not in my position to tell you.
To tell me what, Maxine?
Bari Baba Jen.
Nikusaidie aje?
Mimi naitwa Sheriff.
Mbona unachanganya kama umeona jini?
Alex na Dennis ni partners.
Partners? Ni mara ngapi nimekuambia hii Nairobi iko na wenyewe?
I decided to lead an honest life, my friend.
Are you a talented artist? Or are you passionate about a topic you want to discuss? But money can be very hard to find for an upcoming artist. Don't worry, Studio Mashinani has got your back. Sign up on ajira.co.ke to book a session with your music and video producers across the country. Work on your music, jingles, spoken words, and even podcasts to realize your dream. All for free. Studio Mashinani, Radani Talent.
Welcome back. This is Easy Friday for those joining us right now. Now, the case seeking the removal of Supreme Court President Martha Koome and its 6 other judges will now proceed to a full trial in February next year. This is after the 3-judge bench of the High Court on Friday declined to recuse itself from hearing the case. In dismissing the petition by former Law Society of Kenya, President Nelson Havi demanding their recusal on grounds that they were junior officers in constitutional matters. The bench asserted its commitment to uphold their oath of office. And as Ruth Wamboi reports, the court termed the allegations as sensational and devoid of any legal foundation.
Friday at the Constitutional Division of the High Court in Nairobi, Judges Charles Kariuki, Lawrence Mugambi and Bahati Mwamuye dismissed aspersions cast on their independence by former LSK President Nelson Havi and the process of their selection as unfounded and lacking any legal basis.
The applicant argues that the Honorable Chief Justice's impanelment of the current bench deviated from these principles, particularly the avoidance of conflict of interests and ensuring public confidence.
And the petitioner's argument that Chief Justice Koome, being a party to the JSC proceedings, ought to have recused herself from constituting the bench.
The said ground relied upon by the first interested party in his application for this recusal that specifically falls within the range of the circumstances specified upon under the Regulation 21(1) of the Judicial Service Code of Conduct.
The Justice Kariuki-led bench also dismissed claims that Judges Mugambi and Mwamuye were relatively junior, having been sworn into office in 2022 and 2024 respectively, and that they will be loyal to the CJ, who interviewed them and recommended the elevation.
Accordingly, neither the mere fact of Honorable Chief Justice being a party to proceedings nor the perception of conflict constitutes an exception contemplated under the law.
The full hearing will proceed in February, with the parties having been granted timelines to file their responses and rejoinders, while the oral submissions are set for February 20th and 27, 2026 before the judges retire to give their verdict.
Merit. All judges of the High Court derive their authority from the same constitutional source, Article 165 and exercise coordinate jurisdiction. The grounds advanced do not satisfy the statutory or jurisprudential standards for recusal.
In his petition, Navi wants the 7 judges removed from office and new Supreme judges sworn in before the 2027 general elections. The 3-judge bench of the High Court has stand at ease, stamping their authority to handle all the Supreme Court matter, saying they got all the credential to handle all the petitions arising from all the petitions. Ruth Wamboi reporting for Easy Friday from Milimani's Law Court.
Thank you, Ruth, for that report. Now, health authorities are warning that the country is facing a worrying rise in preterm births, one of the leading causes of newborn deaths in Kenya. Now, according to the Kenya Demographic and Health Survey of 2022, the country's neonatal mortality rate was at 21 deaths per 1,000 live births, accounting for 51% of all under 5 deaths and 66% of infant deaths. The government says it is intensifying efforts to curb these numbers by scaling up kangaroo mother care, improving maternal nutrition, boosting antenatal clinic attendance, and ensuring more mothers deliver under skilled health workers.
When 28-year-old William Odor Okumu and his wife Immaculate Akinyi from Babadogo, Nairobi, learned they were expecting, they anticipated a normal 9-month pregnancy. But their baby arrived at just 6 months, weighing 900 grams.
Simi naye najuanga hata hapo kwa penye nafanya kazi na hustle. Naonanga wazee anasema sijui my wife amezaa, lakini ikimaliza 2 days unasikia anaendea wife wake wanarudi kwa nyumba. So pia mimi nikasema najua 3 days ama 2 days naweza endea mtoi. But call yenye nilipata nilishtuka sana, akiniambia naweza maliza hata 3 months. So si nikamuliza why, akaniambia mtoi amezaliwa na 900 grams.
The couple describes the journey as challenging, but says kangaroo mother care has been vital in helping their premature baby stabilize and gain weight.
Pale hospitali, first thing lazima ukue msafi. Next thing mtoto unamweka kangaroo, unamweka kwa kifua. Sasa hapo ukimweka kwa kifua itamsaidia kuongeza kilo, hiyo joto, itaregulate pia temperature ya mtoto, skin to skin, unaona. Mtoto akiwa hapa kwa kifua itamsaidia pia kubreathe, unaona. Sasa ndio imemsaidia kuongeza kilo. Vile tulitoka hospitali tukiwa kwa nyumba, sasa yako na 2.3 kilograms. Discharge weight ilikuwa 1850 grams.
The Ministry of Health says families like the Okumus represent thousands across the country facing similar struggles. This has prompted the government to strengthen interventions after identifying gaps in early antenatal attendance, maternal nutrition, timely referrals, and access to skilled delivery.
If we are able to reduce our neonatal mortality, automatically our under 5 mortality goes down. So our goal is towards SDG 2030, and it means that, which is SDG 3.2, it means that for us to get the target of 12 per 1,000 live births, it means we have to reduce by 43%.
Some counties only have a space to put newborns, but they don't have the proper infrastructure. So we are committing ourselves to be able to support the development, establishment of these units.
Health authorities are also urging mothers to deliver in health facilities, noting that preterm babies born in hospitals have significantly higher survival rates compared to those born at home.
Community awareness still needs more improvement, more so about the care of preterm babies, especially follow-up at home, which still needs strengthening so that we can have better outcome. We recognize as a county that saving preterm lives is not just a hospital responsibility. It is a shared effort with families, communities, partners, and the government of the day.
This year's World Prematurity Day national event will be held on Monday, November 17th, 2025 in Murang'a County under the theme give preterm babies a strong start for a brighter future. As the country prepares to commemorate World Prematurity Day on November 17th, stakeholders emphasize that prematurity is not a death sentence, and with proper care, every preterm baby can survive and thrive. Jacqueline Masharia for Easy Friday.
Now, back here in the House, the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation on Friday held its end-of-year prayer day to reflect on the year's blessings and seek divine guidance for the future. The corporation's staff, managerial team and board had a moment of reflection and sharing of the word.
The Kenya Broadcasting Corporation end-of-year interdenominational prayer day, a day designated to reflect on the blessings of the year 2025 and what the future holds for the national broadcaster.
It is not just another corporation. It is a hugely strategic corporation, and you must be privileged to be able to work in that establishment. Forget about some of the challenges that we have. Challenges are there. Everybody working anywhere, whether it's in the private sector, public sector, whatever it is.
We felt the need to commit KBC into God's hands. That is where it all began. Because we acknowledge and we know that God's power can change situations.
Praise, worship and sermons. KBC Managing Director Agnes Kalichi lauded the staff for their unwavering dedication and commitment to deliver at work amid the myriad of challenges.
There are two things that must be done in gratitude. Do it cheerfully. You are here. There are so many jobless people out there. You are here. God has blessed you to be in such an institution. That itself is sufficient to give thanks.
Ukiingia katika ofisini kwako, kama wewe unajua hapa nimeajiriwa, unaomba Mwenyezi Mungu. Ukuwe Muislamu, usikuwe Muislamu, tekeleza maombi. Because katika hii dunia kuna challenges mingi. Unapotoka kwa nyumba, umetoka salama. Unapoingia ofisini kwako, ingia salama. Unapomaliza kazi, unatoka salama. Na utekeleze nini? Maombi.
What is our challenge as a corporation as we come to pray? Profit margins, employee turnover, debts, among others. Those are some of the things that hold us down. And the reason why we come, and I love this day, is so that we can invite the divine God to come alongside us and help us.
A section of the staff expressed gratitude as they reminisced on the year.
We are going to pray for favor. That when our teams go out, the sales team, the editorial team, doors swings open, that our government and clients sees the passion and integrity in what we do.
Some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we trust in the name of our Lord. So whatever has been said, let us trust in the name of our Lord.
The long December holiday approaches. The staff were also encouraged to spend quality time with their families.
The first thing you have to be grateful to God is about life. You are here, you are working, you are not sick, and the opportunity that you have been given to work for KBC, for you, that's but they are not employed, they are jobless.
To thank God, we started off well and we are ending well amidst the challenges. We thank God that we had time to create time to thank God. It's a great step in the future, and we know with God we can do much better.
Kasichena Masha, Easy Friday.
Now, social entrepreneurs and young innovators in the country have been challenged to explore opportunities and networks in different avenues, which will in turn boost their growth as well as position them as leaders in the social innovation space. Speaking during the Senior Sector Leaders Strategy meeting in Nairobi, Ashoka East Africa Regional Director Vincent Otieno reiterated the need to move from a world where a few people lead change to one where everyone has the skills, confidence and opportunities to do so.
Across Kenya, powerful innovations and civic energy from social entrepreneurs and young innovators continue to emerge. Yet, fragmented systems and siloed leadership often limit their full impact.
You come across people using their skills to provide solutions to community, and it's no longer about the bottom line. It's about what you can do as a person to bring the little change you can in your circle of influence.
It is against this backdrop that senior sector leaders across government, business, academia, and social innovations held a meeting in Nairobi.
We want to work with all different partners to make sure that the idea of change making, the mindset of change making, and the practice of change making is not just with a few people who come up with all these brilliant ideas, but it is something that is we embed it from growing up experience to school experience to work experience.
We are running a program in West Africa on digitalized youth to help the young people out to well manage the new tool for digital communications, but also how to navigate the risk.
To succeed, the sector players unanimously agreed the need to have a leadership that sees beyond institutions and leans towards systems that empower citizens to co-lead solutions.
Everyone with an aligned vision of empowering the African population, especially the young people now, to embrace change making, to be the problem solvers that we want them to be, then we want to work together.
And as long as you're creating value in the world, you will never go hungry. So even those fears of leaving the comfort zone, they diminish, because as long as you're doing good, the world will always reward you.
In support of collaboration, Ashoka East Africa Changemaker signed a memorandum of understanding with the World Scout Africa Bureau, a move that will enable innovators to utilize their expertise, resources, and a networking platform to boost growth in the industry.
These are elements that we think that together we can offer to the young people. We have the convening power of bringing young people, and then they have the power of sharing knowledge and capacity building to the young people.
For the first time, I felt like I was in a tribe that understood my work, a tribe that understood my desire to drive change at the community level. And then they surrounded me with a lot of support, both technical, expert, as well as structural support.
Opicho Chemtai for Easy Friday.
Now, a section of members of Kiambu County Assembly, led by Muguga Ward MCA Kamau Thumbi and his Kikuyu counterpart Kamau Boro, has raised concerns over the accountability of revenue collection after the court halted the use of the Enterprise Resource Planning Revenue Collection System, forcing the county to continue collecting revenue manually. This and other stories on our County News Roundup.
Speaking outside the Kiambu County Assembly, the elected leaders called on the county government to put in place strict measures on revenue collection.
The executive, the governor, to come clean and tell us, since ERP was stopped, what are they doing? How are they collecting the money? How sure are we that our money collected in Kiambu is going to the right channel?
And residents of Emuhalire village in Butsotso East Ward, Lurambi constituency, Kakamega County, are calling on Governor Fernandez Barasa to complete the construction of a bridge and county roads initiated in the 2023-2024 financial year.
Shemeki yangu anaitwa Malemba, ameanguka kwa maji kwa shauri ya taraja.
Tumepeana tena bajeti ya development 2024-2025. Hiyo bajeti ya development 2024-2025 haijakuwa implemented, hatujui hizo pesa zimeenda wapi.
As the world marks World Diabetes Day, communities in low-income areas of Viwandani in Nairobi County continue to take bold steps to reduce the impact of diabetes and make its management easier.
Mapato yetu watu wa Viwandani, mapato yetu iko chini sana kurigana na vile tuko. Kuko na mtu hawezagi kufuatilia madawa vile anaambiwa na daktari. Hata kama amefuuswa kufuatilia madawa, anaenda anaruka. Juu tuseme saa hizi ukiamuka hauna madawa na hauna pesa, hiyo ni kuonya sana hautatumia dawa. Ukikuja the next visit kwa daktari, hiyo suka itakuwa imeenda juu.
To ensure that early diagnosis for diabetes and other NCDs is critical. But also, in terms of prevention and easy management, we are promoting safe produced food. that are grown through agroecology practices.
Meanwhile, Makueni County government has launched a new partnership policy aimed at streamlining collaboration between the county government and development partners in implementing various projects.
The biggest one that we have really benefited is enabling environment. We have got a good business enabling environment whereby most of the permits and the regulations which are in the county, they favor our business.
Finally, Laikipia East Member of Parliament Mwangi Kiunjuri has responded to the recent remarks by Kenyan Catholic bishops, noting that unlike in the past, the church has taken a firm position to criticize the government's achievements and shortcomings.
Wamesema matano yale wangetaka serikali irekebishe, lakini pia wameongea maine ambayo wanaona serikali imefanya kazi. Hiyo ni kusema nini? Kwa mara ya kwanza ile fitina ilikuweko bereni imeanza kuisha. Kanisa inafanya kazi yake sasa.
Mwangi made the remarks during an empowerment forum in Mawingu Ol-Kalou constituency in Nyandarua County. Kasichana Masha, Easy Friday.
Kisha akaichukua akaenda akaipeleka kwa jirani. Huko kwa jirani nenda fanyaje?
Lete pasi ya watu mimi nipeleke mwenyewe. Nilipomaliza kupiga pasi ya mimi nikaiwekelea juu ya meza. Kuwekelea juu ya meza mtoto naye akaja akaiangusha ikavunjika.
Lipia wewe mahali nikashimwa na pesa za kununua pasi. Alafu hiyo pasi kwa kwenda omba ipotee.
Unabai, unapika, unashiba. Lea Premium.
Lea Premium Flour, nurturing the world. Available in a store near you.
From the heart of Kenya's rural communities, electricity is transforming lives. REREC is partnering with county government, the National Government Constituency Development Fund, and development partners to power our future. Through the Matching Fund program, REREC has mobilized over 4 billion shillings, delivering more than 1,300 projects across the country. Together, we are lighting homes and powering public facilities such as schools, dairy farms, homestead, markets, and health centers. Working with REREC through the Matching Fund program has been a game changer. It means our communities don't have to wait for decades for electricity. Projects are implemented faster. It's a story of progress, and the results are real. Brighter markets, safer streets, new businesses, modern farms, improved education, better healthcare, and a cleaner environment. With every collaboration agreement, the promise of affordable, clean, and reliable energy becomes a reality for more Kenyans. In homes, children study after dark, family feels safer, and new opportunities are born. In health centers, power means life-saving equipment, refrigerated medicine, and round-the-clock care. REREC, green energy, better lives.
The PK!
Son de la bête.
God, man. My name is PK.
So my name is Milka. On the socials I'm known as Milka wa PK.
We began as neighbors and family friends.
Ukimwona alikuwa anaenda choo.
Yeah, alikuwa anaenda choo.
So how we met, it's so funny because he was beaten by our dog.
Oh Lord.
Mimi niliengejiwa siku ya ratio. Hebu nimpe shika. Engage me.
Miguel was born. Mom passed on. I was sometimes in October. I was, I think, 6 months after we got married. That period, honestly, must have been, I think, the lowest ever.
Maybe
Welcome back to Easy Friday. Now tonight on My Culture, we look at a cultural practice among the Abaluya where death, especially when it comes suddenly or unusual circumstances, is handled with deep spiritual significance. From how such a person is buried to the consequences that befall the one responsible for shedding blood. These customs reveal an ancient system of justice, protection, and community order. Our reporter Jackie Wambiru now takes us through these traditions and lessons the elders say modern society must not forget.
Across generations, communities relied on tradition to navigate the most delicate mysteries of life, death. Elder Samuel Lubembe explains that when a person dies in an odd way, through murder or circumstances considered unnatural, the community moved quickly.
Mtu akiuliwa hata kama ameuliwa leo jioni, usiku wa kuamkia awe amesikwa.
The body was not kept in a mortuary. There were no long meetings or week-long preparations. Customs dictated urgency. Traditionally, it was the uncles who took charge of such burials. The ceremony was done quietly, often swiftly and, in some cases, at night.
Sikwa na wajomba ili asije akarudia hilo boma tena kuja kuonyesha katika ndoto na kuja inapitia kitu fulani, ni kama anasukuma msukumo ya kwamba ile kitendo itendeke tele kwa familia.
Women were not allowed to witness the burial, a rule meant to shield them spiritually and protect the home from lingering misfortune.
Kama sinema, mtu anasikwa usiku na unaona mama anakuja na mimba kuchungulia kujua wanafanya nini hapo. Hiyo ndio naona hiyo kitu haitahama na haitatoka, maana ule mtu aliyeuawa ameuawa kikatili.
But what happened after such a death carried even greater weight?
Kwa mtu muuaji ahamishwe, hiyo familia ihamishwe, hizo nyumba zichomwe, ziondolewe. Hata kama ni bibi bahati mbaya ameua mumewe, hata kama amezaa watoto 10, hata ngapi hapo, haitajiki kukaa kwa hilo boma. Mali yake haifai kutaibishwa ikawiwa watu, ni kuharibiwa.
If the death had been caused by another person, whether intentionally or through an act of violence, tradition imposed the form of justice long before modern systems existed.
Lazima ahame kwa hiyo boma, maana sasa amekataa huo ukoo. Kuna kuua kwa kukusudia, kuna kuua kwingine kwa bahati mbaya, tofauti iko. Lakini hata huyo ambaye ameuawa atasikwa usiku.
There was no compensation, no financial payment from the killer's family to the bereaved.
Haitakikani hata mkunywe mtoni moja na ule mtu muuaji. Haitakikani hata mkule sahani moja na hao wauaji.
Instead, the offender faced exile. The killer was forbidden from interacting with the family of the deceased. They could not continue living in the same homestead. They were forced to relocate, echoing the biblical story of Cain when he killed Abel.
Alipoua ndugu yake Abel, si alihamishwa, alihama akaenda mahali ambapo hapajulikana ni wapi, ili asichanganyike na wale ukoo ambapo hiyo kitu itakuja kuenea katika familia.
Remaining in the community without cleansing, elders warn, would invite disaster. Death, they believed, would recur in the home if rituals were not followed.
Nasikwa usiku na wale wajomba ambao wameshika wanapewa ng'ombe, wanaenda naye. Yule wameshika hawakai hapa asubuhi, wanaenda kabisa.
Even the items used during the burial had to be destroyed to cut off the chain of misfortune.
Katika hiyo masishi vinafaa kuchukuliwa, kuchomwa au kutupwa mbali, na hata haifai kutupa mbali, maana mtu atakuja arokota aseme la bahati nimeokota jembe, na akitumia tena kwenda kulima vyakula ni kama tena anarudisha hiyo shishieno katika hilo boma.
And even a careless joke, waving a knife at someone or pretending to threaten harm carried consequences. Such an action required a ritual cleansing to prevent spiritual conflict or future tragedy. Words, gestures and intentions were never taken lightly.
Pia tu mtu kisu au mshale umuonyeshe kizamani ulikuwa unafanywa kimila mpaka hata kondoo ichinjwe, wamwake damu ya kondoo, ufanywe kimila, ndio hilo jambo lisije likarudia.
Beyond the rules around death and wrongdoing lies a deeper concern, the fear that traditions are fading, and with them, the wisdom that once kept communities anchored. Elders recall how evenings were sacred moments of the homestead, moments to speak, to teach, to guide. They insist that such interactions must not die with time.
Tusije tukaisahau, maana kule kufuata mila ilikuwa kitu ya muhimu sana.
That even today, the stories, lessons and counsel passed orally from one generation to the next remain essential to preserving identity and harmony. To the custodians of culture, traditions are not relics. They are warnings, guidelines, a way of bringing order to moments when life feels chaotic. And as dawn breaks, elders remind us, a community that forgets its traditions risks losing the wisdom that once held it together. Jackie Wambiru, My Culture.
Now, the keyboard warriors were served hot content by Mr. President, who seems to have decided to keep an unbroken streak in supplying netizens with hilarious fodder. This week, while on a tour of Makueni County, the head of state met a shocker of his life. A Kenyan-born resident of Makueni told him to his face that she had never seen him or even heard of any William Samoei Ruto. The savage netizens, without fail, shared their sentiments on the matter.
This week, netizens posed a question, and that is, if you're a public figure, is it necessary that you're known by all Kenyans? Let's find out. Seems like this lady in Makueni was on a deny moment after candidly saying that she does not know the President of the Republic of Kenya during a rare encounter with him.
Mimi ni mgeni pia.
Watangaze wapi? Hapa.
President Ruto seems to have been genuinely shocked and left in disbelief after the lady's confession.
Kalisa. They will not believe. They will not believe.
Brian, without even flinching, wrote, Buddha, hawakujui. Mose retorted, Ruto haamini kuna mtu hamjui.
Yes! Yes!
Njeri in disbelief said, mi ningemwambia kwetu hatuna shamba. Aki opportunity comes once. Hey, somebody, anybody, please give Njeri a chance to shine.
Allah! Allah! Allah!
Collins unconvinced. Hizi ni vipindi.
Kudramatize.
But shortly after, when he was making his speech and was told his time is up, what was the response?
Kuna mtu hapa ananiharakisha wewe. Unaniharakisha, umeambiwa niko na haraka ya kwenda wapi? Na nikiamua kulala hapa utadu.
User numbers. Prezo si akona comeback moto.
Utadu.
Iza wondered, ama huyu jamani comedian? Songot retorted, kwani Ruto hukuwa msanii, hizi vibes zote anatoa wapi?
Ulisikia wapi? Ulisikia wapi?
Makueni mom asked, ulale wapi mkubwa?
Makofi.
Drip with a little bit of vitisho baridi said, lala uone.
Utadu.
Uwe, Since there isn't much need to do, how about we just indulge in this banger? Well, that's it for us. Catch you next week on Savage Netizens. For Easy Friday, I am Teresa Mutai.
Moving on, Chinese ambassador emphasized China's intention to deepen development cooperation with Kenya and other global South countries under the Global Development Initiative, a framework designed to support shared growth and sustainable development. Speaking in Nairobi during a meeting with diplomats, United Nations agencies and government representatives, Ambassador Guo said the initiative seeks to reorient international cooperation towards practical projects that directly improve livelihoods, from agriculture and healthcare to climate resilience.
A new approach to development is taking shape, one that could influence how Kenya and other countries in the region plan for the future. Speaking to diplomats, UN officials and government representatives, Ambassador Guo said the initiative focuses on practical, people-centered solutions designed to meet urgent needs in communities across the country.
We have established and scaled up the Global Development and South-South Cooperation Fund to $4 billion, which has supported over 20 international organizations to implement more than 190 livelihood projects in over 60 countries, benefiting more than 30 million people.
The Global Development Fund is financing small, fast-impact projects between $1 and $5 million across sectors,
which is poverty reduction, food security, pandemic response and vaccines, financing for development, climate change and green development, industrialization, digital economy, and digital era connectivity.
Kenya has already benefited, receiving epidemic prevention supplies during the COVID-19 pandemic that reached thousands of communities.
Most of these projects which have been implemented may be small but very impactful for the rural and poor communities.
The discussion comes at a time when developing countries are grappling with overlapping crises, from debt distress to climate shocks, and are increasingly looking to one another rather than traditional donors for solutions.
So if China aims to help countries like Kenya eradicate poverty, it can draw on the extraordinary experience that extreme poverty has been eradicated in China in just 3 decades.
Since 2010, Eastern and Southern Africa has reduced the new HIV infections by 56% and AIDS-related death by 59%.
For charity, dial star 419 hash.
Nakuona. Kuja hivi sasa. Buda. Siku umedial star 419 hash. Chika. Yani hujui kwa option 3 kuna Pro Box. Pro Box. Usisahau kwa star 419 hash option 3 iko Pro Box ya bahati. Na ikikuangukia ufunguo utakufikia mahali popote ulipo. Usisahau.
We open a deeply human conversation about life after incarceration, the silent battles, the search for belonging.
And some money got lost during my tenure, so that is how I found myself through the, the court process and the legal journey.
They said I was one of the mob justice people and 2 people were dead, so they arrested me.
Being in prison, it strips you off of your dignity.
You don't have your freedom. Everywhere you are going, you are being followed.
It's not a place you ever envisioned yourself being. So you have to find a way of surviving.
I was innocent. I was framed on something I didn't do, but people are still there.
There are good days and there are bad days, but I'm grateful for where I am at right now.
Welcome back. Let's now take a look at all the business stories making headlines tonight. Now, fuel pump prices have been left unchanged for the next 1 month from current rates after the government tapped price stabilization kitty to offer consumers relief. A statement from the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority shows that the price of super petrol benefited from a price stabilization rate of 48 cents per litre, while 2 shillings and 33 cents was applied on a litre of diesel, as 4 shillings and 24 cents per litre was spent to have the price of kerosene remain at the current price. The landed cost of super petrol was lower by 18 cents, while that of diesel and kerosene rose by 1.81% and 0.71% respectively. On the other hand, shilling was stable, exchanging at an average of 129.54 to the US dollar. Information, Communications and the Digital Economy Cabinet Secretary William Kabogo says the Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Amendment Act of 2025, commonly known as the Cybercrime Amendment Act, will bring sanity into Kenya's cyberspace and help attract more investments. Kabogo says the new law proposes establishment of a national cybersecurity agency that will swiftly arbitrate cybersecurity disputes and other issues.
A multi-agency team has been established to spearhead implementation of the Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Amendment Act of 2025. This has led to protests from some quarters who say the new law could stifle freedom of expression. Information, Communications and the Digital Economy Cabinet Secretary William
includes the behavior that is likely to cause harm or suicide. That is a new thing. Phishing, identity theft. How many people have posed as Kabogo out there? Now I should be able to take care of those who pose as me, because we have approved the law. Virtual assets and digital accounts. These are things that we passed the law the other day on virtual assets.
However, Kabogo says any undertaking, including pulling down online content or any other issues, will be anchored on the law.
Tell me any of the amendments that gives government that power. To shut down a website or anything like that, you will require a court order. So really, that is what freedom is about.
He says the Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Amendment Act of 2025 is in line with international best practices.
The standards kept in Europe and in the world are the standards that we have consented to doing here in Kenya. How more, open could Kenya be?
He says the new law will catalyze both local and foreign investments into Kenya.
It's the only country in Africa, number one, in terms of, why do we call Nairobi the Silicon Savannah? It's because this space is open. You can see the influx of diplomats into my office.
Benson Rioba reporting for Easy Friday.
Now, there are immense business opportunities in Kenya's real estate sector, especially construction of housing units for low and middle income earners. Rendeavor Board member Ambassador Linda Thomas-Greenfield is calling for more government incentives to stimulate more interest from the private sector.
Construction of affordable housing units is seen as a key economic activity that involves creation of jobs and creating demand for those manufacturing key raw materials. Rendeavor Board member Ambassador Linda Thomas-Greenfield believes enhancing government incentives could motivate more private sector players to invest in putting up affordable units to bridge the housing gap that Kenya faces.
The sector is key. The private sector is going to employ. They're going to not just employ, but they are going to produce products that people need.
There is also need to enhance training programs for the youth on construction to increase the number of skilled personnel for the real estate sector.
If we have a counterpart to government, private sector, hiring people, training, you can see that success come very, very, very quickly.
He says even though most American companies are risk averse, mitigating the risk is a sure way to net their investments.
And other American companies are looking at what Rendeavor has succeeded in doing here, and I think it's very attractive to them.
Benson Rioba reporting for Easy Friday.
Small businesses from Kenya and Rwanda are rooting for a unified digital marketplace to drive up cross-border trade volumes. Here is Regina Manyara with the details from the 25th EAC MSMEs exhibition.
According to the latest data, Kenya exported products worth $315 million to Rwanda in 2024 and imported goods valued at $24.9 million.
Rwanda itajengwa na nani? EAC itajengwa na nani? Wapi makofi ya EAC?
Targeted support to micro, small and medium-sized enterprises has been identified as being key to increasing trade volumes between the two countries.
We need to be leveraging on this platform and also see how well we open up doors and even the global market.
Traders are calling for harmonization of sanitary and phytosanitary standards to eliminate redundant inspections as well as digitizing clearance procedures.
We need to start identifying some of those enterprises that represent us as East African and see now how do we take it to the continental platform.
Plans are underway to establish a regional digital marketplace to link verified MSMEs in Kenya and Rwanda directly to buyers, logistics services and digital payment systems. Regina Manyara reporting for KBC Channel 1.
Now, the Mai Mahiu Special Economic Zone is rapidly transforming into one of Kenya's most dynamic industrial hubs, with investor activity surging from a single company 2 years ago to 19 today. Investments Cabinet Secretary Lee Kinyanjui says the growth underscores a rising demand for industrial land in Kenya as manufacturers seek strategic locations with supportive infrastructure and government incentives.
The government projects the number of investors at the Mai Mahiu Special Economic Zone to reach 50 by the end of next year. This has prompted the government to expand the Mai Mahiu Special Economic Zone by 5,000 acres along the Mai Mahiu Narok corridor. CS Kinyanjui says the goal is to have 40% of the 6,000-acre industrial park operationalized within the next year.
By end of next year, this particular SEZ should be about 40% operational, not under construction, operational. In the fullness of time, 50,000 people would be employed here directly. And we want to encourage many of the industries that have come forward and that are already expressing.
Infrastructure such as railway, roads and electricity remains central to the Maimayu Special Economic Zone's appeal to investors. Nakuru County government has pledged to address water supply and expedite title deed insurance to ease investor operations.
We are doing a master plan so that maybe we have about 30-40 kilometers of road network within the entire space, so that in the days to come, wherever you are placed within the park, there is both the roads, there is the internet connection, there is drainage, and there is security and everything within the park.
The roads, with this approach we've taken for road, and I think the investors have been happy. As they put up their facility, we are also putting up the road. So we are waiting for the EGP processes. As you know, government has gone fully electronic in terms of procurement. We will be constructing this road to the last investor in the next no more than 3 months. The procurement process is ongoing.
Now, with millions of young people in Kenya facing challenges accessing mental health support, Shamiri Institute has launched an artificial intelligence tool designed to provide scalable, affordable and effective mental health care. The artificial intelligence tool targets to impact 10 million youth by the year 2032.
In Kenya, fewer than 500 psychiatrists serve a population of over 50 million, making traditional one-on-one therapy models insufficient to meet the growing demand for those battling mental health challenges. This has prompted Shamiri Institute to design a technological tool to bridge the gap by delivering the services at scale.
What I want to say that Shamiri is doing is that by leveraging on technology, on AI techniques, on new platforms, it's also a new way of reaching young people who are suffering mental health.
The platform leverages machine learning, data analytics, and speech recognition to optimize therapy, match clients with the most effective interventions, and provide real-time feedback to therapists.
It is data and science-driven, which can also bring about innovative and sustainable solution to a very significant societal problem that we're all facing.
The artificial intelligence tool has been curated to understand Kenya's multilingual context and build on Shamiri's evidence-based model, which has already reached over 185,000 youths, helping reduce anxiety and depression by up to 80%.
Now, Equity Group Foundation, in partnership with the United Nations Development Programme, has rolled out a new initiative to train, mentor and improve access to finance for high-potential, climate-neutral businesses. Equity Group Foundation Executive Chairman James Mwangi says the initiative will empower young innovators with essential tools and networks while leveraging Equity's operations in 7 African countries to enhance market access.
The collaboration between United Nations Development Programme and Equity Group Foundation seeks to shift Kenya's entrepreneurship ecosystem from informal and fragmented to structured and export-oriented. Equity Group Foundation Executive Chairman James Mwangi says the new initiative is a springboard for Kenyan innovators aiming to tap into regional markets.
We're entering into the space of renewable energy because of innovations. So we felt that that should also be accompanied by technology to allow innovative business models. It allows easy transformation through capacitation.
The collaboration will target high-potential value chains such as digital services, green manufacturing, agriculture and climate-neutral technologies, where Kenyan entrepreneurs often show strong innovation but face challenges accessing capital or markets beyond Kenya.
AI natives, they understand these things. We shouldn't be giving them technology that is not consistent with their time. So technology is really important in bringing that level.
The new partnership seeks to create a predictable, investor-ready pipeline for enterprises with continental reach.
Talking about prosperity rather than poverty, because we've been 60 years in the business of ending poverty, hasn't ended. So we're changing tack and say, let's invest in wealth creation and shared prosperity as a lens. And perhaps that will be the force that actually drives poverty out the door.
Now, finally, in business, South Korea has lined up $150 billion in investment in the American shipbuilding sector and another $200 billion in industrial sectors in the United States of America under a new trade agreement between the two countries. Here are the details of this and other stories making headlines across the globe.
The joint announcement between the U.S. and South Korea followed a meeting in October between South Korean President Lee Jae and U.S. President Donald Trump, who reached a deal that would cut American import duties on South Korea's product from 25% to 15%. Officials from the two countries signed a memorandum of understanding on Friday. The 27.9 binding document has details on strategic investment. It lays out a schedule for implementation of the project that will be selected by the U.S. after consultation with the South Korea, and Seoul is required to transfer funds within 45 days of the decision. Meanwhile, families and small businesses in Germany are reeling from the heating bills that have soared, forcing tough choices as winter sets in. Germans are facing an 82% increase in heating costs since 2021, when the country decided to reduce its reliance on Russian pipeline gas since the onset of the Russia-Ukraine conflict. In Germany, it's common to find some residents living in older buildings. Due to poor insulation and rapid heat loss, they often have to undertake energy-saving renovations themselves, such as replacing windows, reducing ventilation time, or lowering indoors temperature to minimize heating costs. Finally, gold prices have hit a record high in the domestic market following the implementation of China's new value-added tax VAT policy on the gold market, effective on the 1st of November. The most significant change under the new policy is that gold for investment and non-investment purposes will be subject to different tax rules once it leaves the exchange and enters the distribution chain. Gold jewelry, classified as non-investment use, faces an increased tax burden which impacts the gold jewelry market. The industry generally believes that high gold prices combined with tax impact will negatively affect gold sales. Against this backdrop, gold processing and exchange services are expected to grow.
Not for persons under the age of 18 years. Sasa kwa star 419 hash uko na game mpya. Tushinde spin corner. Simply spin. Kisha ngoja. Na kwa entry moja unaweza angukia na uspin hadi mara 3. Na ikigonga 25,000 na kufikia instantly. Cheza spin corner sasa hivi kwa star 419 hash option 4. Tushinde.com. Cheza safe, cheza smart. Gambling is addictive, not for persons under the age of 18 years.
Welcome back. You're just in time for the KBC Sports News. Now, the national football team Harambee Stars lost 1-0 to Equatorial Guinea in Turkey in their first friendly match since completing their 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. Equatorial Guinea's lone goal was scored in the first half added time from the penalty spot. Stars must now rebuild from that loss going into their second friendly match against African giants Senegal on the 18th of this month. Meanwhile, Bidco United missed the chance to move up to third position on the FKF Premier League table after being held to a goalless draw by KCB in the only top-flight game played today. The draw left Bidco 6th on the table with 12 points, while their opponents KCB at 12th with just 8 points. The completion stage of Nairobi's Talanta City Stadium is expected to start early next year, with 66% of the works on the football and rugby stadium having already been completed. An inspection tour on the facility, which will be one of the venues for the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations, was done today by government officials led by Sports Cabinet Secretary Salim Mvurya.
A comprehensive inspection of the Talanta City Stadium was conducted today as time draws closer and closer to the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations. All exterior and major infrastructural works are expected to be finalized this year, paving way for final phase of construction, which will include rail connectivity and road upgrades.
By end of December, the external works and the physical infrastructure of the project will be done. But of course, this project is not just the stadium. You know, we are looking at auxiliary works. KPLC will have to come here, and many other ministries are also going to come to support the operationalization of this project.
Leading the inspection tour was Cabinet Secretary for Sports Salim Mvurya, who said that the completion of the Talanta City Stadium will once again position Kenya as a continental and global sporting powerhouse, elevating the country's capacity to host world-class events.
We have a lot of other works going on to ensure we have a substation here for power. The works around water is also ongoing. In fact, part of it has already been completed. So we have a lot of other works which other ministries are also doing, including roads, which have already been surveyed, designed, and procurement process is being concluded.
The Talanta City Stadium, together with Kasarani Nyayo National Stadium, will host the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations, with Kasarani and Nyayo having already been put to test by hosting the 2024 Africa Nation Championship.
Rwanda's APR defeated Les Hippos of Burundi 82-61 to qualify for the finals of the ongoing Women's Basketball Africa League at Nyayo. The national under-17 men's soccer team head coach William Muluya is hopeful of beginning the quest for the CECAFA under-17 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers on a positive note. Kenya will open its campaign against Somalia on Tuesday with a 10-team regional showpiece set to kick off tomorrow in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia.
National under-17 soccer team Junior Stars will open their Group A campaign against Somalia on Tuesday with head coach William Muluya targeting an emphatic start. However, Kenya is expected to face stiff opposition from Somalia, who are also eager to impress in the regional tournament. After the Somalia match, Kenya will also play hosts Ethiopia, Rwanda and South Sudan in Group A. The championship, set to conclude on December 2nd, will see 3 top finishers qualifying for the 2026 Under-17 Africa Cup of Nations finals.
To have our first game, we are eager to see the results. We are anxious, but basically, again, we're also ambitious for the tourney. So we really hope that all the things are going to be possible based with how we are planned. We know everyone is looking for it. And like I say, for us is to play until the last day of the tournament.
We are ready. We have the confidence to be a champion and to be a winner. So I want to say, people Somalia and Ethiopia, please come and support. Give them morale. You are boys, inshallah. For us, we are ready tomorrow, inshallah. Come and give us time, inshallah. We are ready. Assalamu alaikum.
Elsewhere, a total of 30 upcoming coaches took part in the 5-day introductory coaching course organized by FKF Nairobi East Branch. The course equipped participants with essential coaching principles and practical training methods. The initiative is part of Football Kenya Federation's efforts to improve quality of coaching at the grassroots level.
100% maybe iko 60%. So hiyo 40% tunataka kupata, tupate good coaches ndio waweze kutrain vijana wetu vizuri. Ndio by the time wanafika kwa zile league zetu za juu wako wanajua most of the things.
Na venye nitaanza kuhandle situations za ball, nitakuwa nazi handles na perspective ya coaching kulingana na venye tumefunzwa kwa class.
The coaching class has helped me to achieve more skills of training the under categories and of knowing myself as a player.
Finally, the Arrows for Peace, an initiative that uses archery to promote peace in communities that have been affected by conflict for ages, was honored at the 3rd Association of National Olympic Committees of Africa, ANOCA Gender and Equality Forum, held in Bujumbura, Burundi. Arrows for Peace, founded by former 3,000-meter steeplechase runner Irene Limika, uses archery, an Olympic sport, to foster cohesive coexistence in communities that have traditionally had frosty relationships, especially in arid and semi-arid regions of Kenya. Bernard Okumu, Easy Friday.
Thank you, Okumu, for that report. Now, finally, the inaugural edition of Path to Russia Community Sports Games, Wasingishu County edition, will be held on the 21st of this month. This was confirmed by the tournament's leader, Ekaterina Malinina, who says the tournament, which is geared towards empowering the
change with schools, this interaction with schools. We also offer scholarships for active, very passionate students. We help them to get the scholarship in Russia. Also, we partner with 2 universities in Russia. It's St. Petersburg State University and Moscow Polytechnic University. So we want more children to go to Russia and learn and study in Russia. But first of all, they need to learn Russian language.
And that's it. It's a wrap right here on Easy Friday. Thank you so much for staying with us from the beginning till the end. My name is Carren. Kibbet. Our sign language interpreter this evening has been Carolyn Njoroge. Don't go too far, because shortly DJ Cooljax will be back with the Disco Funk Show to help you, to ease you into the weekend. Good night. I'll see you next Friday.
Kila mwisho wa juma kwenye runinga yako ya KBC